today is my birthday. Well, actually that's a lie. I'm filming this the weekend before my birthday, but you will get this video on my birthday. I am turning 26 today when you see this video. So I have a couple of mixed feelings about that age. So this is not what this video is about. But I'm doing something that I haven't done on my channel for a very long time, and that is share with you a book haul. So I mentioned in one of my TBR challenges that I was not going to be following the rules of that challenge in the month of May because I knew I was going to buy a lot of books for myself for my birthday, because generally I don't get a lot of books as presents from my family, but I actually got some books as presents this year too, so that's pretty surprising and nice as well. So yeah, this is also Memorial Day weekend, so I plan on reading a bunch of these books that I bought this weekend, so I'm hoping that a lot of these won't be staying on my TBR for very long. But I did go a little crazy just because I haven't been buying a ton of books every month. So without further ado, let's just get into it. So the first books I want to talk to you about are books that I purchased on Amazon. A few of these books were books that I had been really interested in for a long time, so it was just time for me to make that purchase, and what better excuse than for my birthday. But the first one I want to talk about is The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs: A New History of the Lost World by Steve Brossatt. And this is, I'm obsessed with the dinosaurs and also dragons. So I've been craving more information on dinosaurs. I feel like it's been a while since I've read anything or watched a documentary about dinosaurs. And I was just looking up dinosaur books on Amazon, and I noticed that this had recently come out. I think it came out in April of this year, so it was published pretty recently. And I was like, ooh, maybe I should check this out. So I had a few credits on Audible, so I decided to listen to it. And I literally fell in love with this book after like the first hour of listening to it. So I was like, I have to buy it. So I've already actually finished reading this book, but I do want to read it again now that I have the hard copy, because it comes with like pictures and stuff in it. So it would be interesting to read it looking at the different images, because he does describe a lot of different dinosaur skeletons that he finds. So it would be interesting to basically like see the images while I'm reading the story. But I guess I should kind of explain what this book talks about. But essentially it goes from the very beginning of when dinosaurs first evolved on Earth and all the way to their extinction. So this talks about creatures that came before the dinosaurs, as well as how the dinosaurs evolved, and just like really updated information about what paleontologists know about dinosaurs. So I was really happy. I'm really glad that this was published pretty recently, because it just makes me feel like my knowledge of dinosaurs is refreshed and renewed, and I feel like I know so much more, and I really enjoyed this book. So if you're curious about dinosaurs, if you're just interested in paleontology, I think this is a really great book to read. It's very easily approachable. There's a lot of like various dinosaur names that would be confusing to pronounce, but I feel like the content and the way he describes the evolution of dinosaurs is very approachable, and I think anyone could understand this. You don't have to have a degree in science. So yeah, it was just really interesting, and it makes me wish that I could have become, in a second life, a paleontologist myself. But you know, I think I've talked enough about this book, so let's move on to the second book I got from Amazon. You'll notice in this book haul that a lot of the books have to do with Egypt and Cleopatra. I listened to Cleopatra: A Life a couple months back, and it's really sparked this interest in learning more about the culture of Egypt, the history of Egypt, and more just about the famous characters of Egypt. So in addition to Cleopatra, I've been hearing a lot about this book, The Woman Who Would Be King by Cara Cooney. This is basically about a female pharaoh called Hatshepsut. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I really enjoyed learning a lot about Cleopatra and learning about a strong female leader in Egypt, so I figured I would check out this because this is also a great book about another Egyptian female leader, a pharaoh in this instance, and I just think this is going to be really interesting. I think this one has images too, maybe not, no, but it does have a cool map on the end pages, so yeah. I've heard a lot of great things about this one, so I really want to get to this one soon. And the last book that I got from Amazon was The Phantom Atlas by Edward Brooke Hitching. I've seen this book talked about on Jen Campbell's channel millions of times, and I've always wanted to pick up a copy for myself. It just seems like something very interesting. As you can probably see from this book haul as well, I'm in this like really non-fiction kick. I'm just interested in the strange and beautiful things that are actually that have actually happened to the world. So I thought this would be a really great book to check out, and it's just a spectacular book, and I'm glad I have it in my collection. I love the cover. The images of maps are just so beautiful, so I cannot wait to explore this book. I don't know if I'll read it like all at once or kind of just delve into different topics that I find interesting, but we'll see. So those are the 3 books I got from Amazon. I also picked up 2 graphic novels from Barnes & Noble. They sent me a few coupons, so I figured why not use them to buy some books for my birthday. So the first one that I picked was Monstrous. This was written by Marjorie Liu, and the graphics were created by Sana Takeda. This I've heard a lot of great things about. It seems like something I would be really into. It has like very Asian inspired setting, and it just seems like a very dark graphic novel, so I thought I would pick it up. And I know the second one is also out, but I decided to go with just the first volume just to see how I enjoyed it before I picked up the second one. But I'm pretty confident that I will enjoy it. I'm planning on reading it this weekend, so I will let you know how I feel about it in my wrap-up. And the next graphic novel that I got was Rat Queens Volume 1. I've heard a few things about this on BookTube, and I wanted to just experiment with some graphic novels. And this one drew my eye, if I'm being honest, because it looks like a badass black character on the cover. So that's really what just made me finalize and pick up this one. I honestly don't know too much about this book other than that there are some pretty badass female characters, so that just drew me in. So this is like, we're nearing the end of this book haul. Sorry, it's been a long one. So last week I paid an unexpected visit to Half Price Books, and I couldn't resist picking up a couple of books. I figured since I was buying books for my birthday, I would see if any of the books that I was intending to purchase were at Half Price Books before I bought them new. So as you'll notice, a lot of these are the books that I was talking about that I bought to expand my knowledge on Egyptian history. I really enjoyed listening to the Cleopatra Life book by Stacy Schiff, so I really wanted to buy a physical copy of my own so I could reread it, and they had a really great copy at Half Price Books. I mean, it looks like a brand new copy, and I was so surprised because I was gonna buy it on Book Depository for like $25, and I think I ended up paying only $9 for this book, so I'm so happy I was able to find it. I really can't wait to read it, and I think I'm going to start by reading The Woman Who Would Be King and then go back to reread Cleopatra again. But I just really enjoyed this book. It does a really great job of kind of destroying the mythos behind Cleopatra and really getting down to what we actually know about her based on historical accounts and everything. So it's a really great book if you're interested in kind of debunking what is speculation and what is actually fact about Cleopatra's life. I really wanted to learn a lot about Cleopatra, so I was trying to figure out if there were any other books worth checking out. And this book had always been one of the books that people recommend to check out. It's not nonfiction, but it's a fictionalized account of Cleopatra's life by Margaret George, so it's the Memoirs of Cleopatra. It's a huge book. I think it's like about 1,000 pages long. So I think this is a novel, but I want to kind of compare the actual history that I learned from the Cleopatra Life book with this to just kind of even develop my knowledge and my understanding of Cleopatra even more. I don't know how historically accurate this book is, but I definitely think I'm going to be rereading Cleopatra Life and then jumping into this, or reading them at the same time. But I just really want to read more about Cleopatra, and I thought having a novelized version might draw my attention more than reading multiple nonfiction books, though I still do want to read a couple more nonfiction books that have varying viewpoints on her life. But I thought, why not pick it up? It was there, it was only $8, so yeah, I got it. And the last Egyptian book that I got was Egypt, A Short History by Robert L. Tingor. And this, I think, gives just an account from everything from ancient Egypt all the way to present day Egypt. So I thought this would be a great kind of book to get a better timeline of the events, and also have a little more background to see how in depth this talks about the different pharaohs, and see if this covers a little bit about Cleopatra. So I thought this would just be another great supplementary read with all the other books on Egypt that I have. So yeah, I plan on reading all of these very soon. I'm not sure what order. Honestly, I think I probably should start with this one, go to The Woman Who Would Be King, reread Cleopatra Life, and maybe read The Memoirs of Cleopatra at the same time or right after. So yeah, I am excited. I've always been interested in the pyramids and in Egypt, but I haven't done a lot of in-depth research on it, or really know a ton about it other than my general kind of just knowledge on Egypt. So I'm really excited to kind of expand that knowledge with these books. As part of that, since I've been really interested in history and world history and all of that, I found this book on Ancient Worlds, A Global History of Antiquity by Michael Scott, and I thought this would also be a great supplement. While it's not specifically talking about Egypt, it's talking about other ancient civilizations, and I thought this would be a great book to kind of expand my knowledge about other areas of the world that I would want to learn more about in the future. It seems like a really interesting book, and I'm excited I have it. So those are all the books that I bought for myself for my birthday. But today I also got a nice surprise. My brother sent me a package for my birthday, and it included 2 books. So I'm going on a cruise at the end of June, so having a lot of different books and options to read is really nice. So I'm really glad he got me a couple books to read. They're a little bit different than what I normally pick up, so that'll be interesting. He usually gets me things that really take me out of my comfort zone, which is really nice. So these are the books that he got me. The Unbreakable Miss Lovely, How the Church of Scientology Tried to Destroy Paulette Cooper by Tony Ortega. And I don't know if my brother knows this, but I watched the Scientology documentary probably a few months ago, and then I got really obsessed with the TV show. I can't think of who stars in it, but she was a Scientologist, and then she created like a TV docu-series where she recounts other previous people that were in Scientology. I was really obsessed with it. I was really interested in I'm just really interested in the idea of cults and why people join them, and so this will be an interesting book, but it seems like it'll be interesting. I'm interested to check it out, and I'm wondering why he bought it for me, if he knows that I was like a little bit low-key obsessed with Scientology a few months ago, because I don't remember if I told him. But yeah, the next book that he got me was The Disaster Artist, My Life Inside the Room, The Greatest Bad Movie Ever. So he talks about this movie a lot, and I still have failed to actually watch it, but I guess it's like a really bad movie that got a lot of popularity called The Room, and I guess this is like a memoir or just a book describing the creation of this movie. And I think The Disaster Artist is actually being turned into a movie, so I guess it's like a memoir of the creation of The Room. So it's a movie about a creation of a movie. So I think this is going to be interesting. I'll be curious to read this and then watch The Room and then also watch The Disaster Artist when it comes out. So yeah, those are all the books that I've gotten for my birthday. I forgot. I also ordered some books on Book Outlet that have not gotten here yet. So let me run through those really quickly just so you know what books I got, because I feel like this video is going to be like, okay, so I got 4 books on Book Outlet. The first one I got was, sorry, I'm reading on my phone. The first one I got was Other Minds, The Octopus, the Sea, and the Deep Origins of Consciousness. And this is also another nonfiction book, so you can tell, like, literally, I think over half of these books are nonfiction. But I got this book because I was really interested in the dinosaur, the history of dinosaurs, and just how intelligent that they describe dinosaurs as being. So I wanted to check out more books about different animals, and I've heard a lot of great things about The Other Minds, so I figured I would pick it up since it was on Book Outlet, and it was only $10 for the hardcover. I also got The Mistresses of Kilveden, 3 Centuries of Scandal, Power, and Intrigue in an English Stately Home. This is another book that I learned about probably almost like a year ago from Jen Campbell's channel, and this really sparked my interest, and it's been on my mind for a very long time, so I figured why not finally pick a copy of it up. And they had a copy on Book Outlet for a lot cheaper than what I was going to originally buy it on Book Depository, so I figured yes, please put that in my cart. I also got The Well of Ascension, which is the second book in the Mistborn trilogy. So I have a box set of the Mistborn trilogy, but it's a paperback, and I think I'm gonna really enjoy this series. And they had the like old school, this is like the one that I bought is the old school hardcover, and I think those covers are really beautiful. And it was only like $7, so I had to pick it up. They only had one available, so I was like, I need to buy this quickly. So I think Mistborn is definitely gonna be a series that I enjoy, and I'm planning on reading it very soon. So starting to collect the hardcover in those really pretty editions was something that I just could not resist. And the last book that I got was Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race, and I was planning on buying this book also on Book Depository, but I had it on Book Outlet for a lot cheaper. And this is a book that I've been really eyeing for a couple of months now, and it seems like a very interesting book. It'll be interesting to see how her viewpoints on race in the UK, as opposed to a lot of the books that I have read have been viewpoints of race in America, so that will be very interesting. I also am planning to purchase some books on Book Depository too, but I'm not sure if I will buy those soon. So these are all the books that I've already purchased, but there is definitely a couple books on my Book Depository shopping cart that I was planning on buying, but that was before I went to Half Price Books and bought 4 books there. So we'll see, but yeah, you might see some other books. I will post pictures of all of them on Instagram, so if you want to see if I end up getting those books from Book Depository, just check out my Instagram. It'll be in the description down below. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I haven't done a book haul in a really long time, but it was really fun doing this one, so I might start doing them again, who knows. But yeah, thanks again for watching. Sorry this video is so long, but I bought a ton of books, so hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what books you bought in the month of May, or which one of these books that you're excited about or would like me to review. Put all that in the comments below, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!